series of videos chronicles my trip through New Zealand, from North Island to South Island. We rolled out of Franz Josef and followed the wild west coast north, reaching Hokitika just in time for lunch by the sea. After refueling, we pushed on to Greymouth, where our journey took a dramatic turn, boarding the legendary TransAlpine Express for a breathtaking ride across the spine of the South Island. We crossed through incredible scenery on our way east, finally wrapping up the journey back in Christchurch, where our awesome adventure ended the next morning. At the end of this video, I've added a few highlights from our north to south route, including a magical late-night stop to see glowworms lighting up the darkness.
We left Franz Josef under partly sunny skies and followed the coast north toward the seaside town of Hokitika, rolling in just in time for lunch. While most of the group wandered off to explore the shops and galleries, I headed straight for the beach. That's where I found it. A clever driftwood sculpture spelling out the town's name, standing proudly against the surf. Scattered along the shoreline were even more driftwood creations, each one shaped by the sea and the imagination of the locals.
How clever is that? The main entrance to the beach gives a hint of what to expect. I made my way down to the shoreline, where the Tasman Sea was in one of its darker moods. The water churned into a frothy brown, heaving itself against the rocks with a kind of restless anger. Each wave crashed forward like it was trying to claw its way up the beach, exploding into spray before being dragged back into the swirling surf. The wind carried the roar of the sea along the coast, and for a moment, it felt like the whole shoreline was alive, raw, untamed, and absolutely unforgettable.
We rolled into Greymouth and boarded the legendary TransAlpine, the train that cuts straight across the spine of the South Island from coast to coast. As soon as we pulled out of the station, the scenery exploded into view. River gorges, towering peaks, and valleys carved by ancient glaciers. It's no wonder this journey is world famous. Every turn of the track reveals another postcard-perfect slice of New Zealand. We made a short stop at Lake Brunner, giving passengers a chance to step out and take in the calm, mirror-like water framed by thick west coast forest. It was a peaceful pause before the train continued its climb into the mountains. From the open carriage at the back of the TransAlpine Express, the landscape feels alive. Snow-capped mountains rise on both sides, closing in as the train climbs. Snow-sprinkled peaks rose in every direction, surrounding us like a vast circle of white-tipped guardians. Beside us, the Taramacau River races along the valley floor, a streak of silver twisting through the rugged terrain. With the wind roaring through the open car and the scenery unfolding in every direction, this stretch of the journey feels wild, raw, and unforgettable. The Southern Alps rose ahead of us, a vast mountain spine stretching nearly 500 miles down the South Island. These peaks are the highest in New Zealand, carved by glaciers, uplifted by tectonic force, and dusted with snow even as winter approaches. As the TransAlpine Express climbed deeper into the range, the mountains closed in around us, their jagged ridgelines glowing white against the sky. From the open carriage at the back of the train, we could see steep valleys dropping away beneath the tracks, sheer cliffs rising on both sides, and ancient glaciers hidden in the folds of the peaks. This is the heart of the Southern Alps, a landscape shaped over millions of years, and one of the most dramatic alpine crossings in the world. The TransAlpine isn't just a train, it's one of the world's great rail journeys,
crossing 223 kilometers from Christchurch to Greymouth through the heart of the Southern Alps. The full trip takes just under 5 hours, climbing through 16 tunnels and over 4 major viaducts, including the towering staircase viaduct rising 75 meters above the valley floor. As we rolled westward, 2 powerful DX locomotives hauled the train across the plains, but approaching Arthur's Pass, the climb becomes so steep that up to 4 additional banking locomotives are added to push the train through the 8.5-kilometer Otira Tunnel, one of the longest rail tunnels in New Zealand. This is the TransAlpine at its best, a steel ribbon threading through mountains millions of years in the making, pulled by engines built for some of the toughest rail terrain in the world.
Rivers run beside the TransAlpine for much of the journey, their waters glowing an unreal glacier blue. That color comes from rock flour, the fine silt created as glaciers grind the mountains into powder. The Waimakariri River spreads into wide, braided channels, while the Taramacau races through narrow valleys. From the open carriage, these alpine rivers feel close enough to touch, guiding the train through the heart of the Southern Alps.
All too soon, the journey came to an end. We got picked up by Snowy, who had driven from Greymouth to Christchurch. We headed back to the hostel for the night and ate at the Riverside Market. The next morning, our awesome trip came to an end. We made a stop at Arataki Honey Farm, one of New Zealand's most iconic honey producers. Inside, shelves were lined with their famous Manuka and clover honeys, all crafted from hives spread across the North Island. It's a small place with a big reputation, and tasting their honey fresh from the source felt like sampling a little piece of New Zealand's landscape. Inside the restaurant, a see-through beehive let us watch the colony at work. The entrance was located outside, with a plastic tube connecting the entrance to the hive. We made a late-night detour to a hidden spot near Blue Lake, where an entire colony of glowworms lit up the darkness. These tiny creatures aren't actually worms at all. They're bioluminescent larvae that use their blue-green glow to lure insects into their sticky silk threads. Standing there in the quiet forest, watching hundreds of them shimmer like stars pinned to the cliffside, felt like stepping into a secret world only a few people ever get to see. It's hard to spot at first, but there's a glowworm tucked in there, and the moment Snowy dimmed the light, its blue glow slowly emerged from the darkness. We spent about 20 minutes wandering through the darkness, spotting these incredible creatures glowing in different pockets of the forest, and marveling at their ability to create light from their tiny bodies.
Thanks for joining me on this spectacular journey through New Zealand. Stay tuned, because the next adventure is already on the horizon and coming soon.